Yep.
Let's go.
Hello, everyone. I'm Squirrel, and I'm from ZecHub. I'm on the ZecHub core team. As part of that, what I do is manage the ZecHub Bounty program. I create and review weekly tasks. I work with contributors on their tasks and on creating new DAO proposals. I'm involved with the operations and project planning, so coordinating with FPF and the Zcash Foundation. And I also manage the ZecHub budget and produce treasury reports.
Hey guys, I'm Dismad. I'm also a core contributor. I have been in the ecosystem for roughly 4 years now, and I specialize in data gathering, visualization, technical explainers, tutorials, especially on the educational side. And I've also committed a lot of time to governance discussions in not only the Zcash community forums, but the Discord and now the DAO. And I help manage the Twitter, Blue Sky, free to Z accounts, and we also have a ZecHub.social Mastodon account now that I help govern.
Awesome. Hello, everybody. It's good to be here. I'm Vito. So over the past few years, I have been working as community manager in public relations for Zcash Brazil and the broader Zcash community. Well, my work has included organizing community events, managing the Zcash global server, writing articles, and support. It's better supporting various projects within the ecosystem, particularly those focused on privacy. Recently in December, I made my transition to ZecHub Cartoon to enhance the content quality by editing videos, design thumbnails, refine articles, and expand the watch reach through partnerships with other projects, which we will discuss later. I continue to oversee the Zcash global server administration and events coordination as well.
Okay, so one of the important things we do is produce the Zcash Ecosystem Digest. So these are weekly ecosystem news summaries, providing updates on Zcash Foundation, Electric Coin Company, Shielded Labs, ZCG, and all of the community projects. So Zcash Brazil, Zcash Espanol, Zcash AB Club, Zcash Nigeria, all of them. And as part of the ecosystem digests, we include network stats over the past week. This includes shielded supply, number of transactions, number of transfers, current node count, and even the favorite Zcash meme of the week. So if you're interested in that, you can head over to the link and subscribe.
Also want to add that all this data that is being collected is being gathered from a local Zcash D node. And it's all available free of charge in our GitHub, in our open source nature. And we are looking forward to moving to Zebra as soon as the RPCs are available.
So something new that we've done is take the Zcash ecosystem digests, which we send out via email, and instead make them available to people or subscribers through their Zcash wallet. And so we're trying to encourage people to interact with their Zcash wallets a bit more, whilst providing useful metrics such as the network stats every week. And this is a kind of proof of concept for a service which is paid for in Zec and just uses the Zcash network. And we're hoping to provide a tool that anyone can use to host their own private newsletter. So subscribe, please. Put your unified address in there and subscribe.
So on Zcash News, formerly Weekly Call and Weekly News was created last year to provide the Brazilian community with easy to digest updates on the Zcash ecosystem. Over time, I began sharing these updates in English on ZecHub as well. The main goal of the Zcash News is to highlight the most important updates from the Zcash ecosystem digest, which is published like every Sunday. This article breaks down key events and developments in the Zcash ecosystem from the past week. New editions are published every Wednesday on Substack, X, Free2Z, and Blue Sky. And it's also important to highlight that the name Zcash News was created by the Zcash Brazil team, and the artwork has been designed by Yogi since the beginning. As part of our work in the article space, we kicked off this year by moving the 0 to 0 knowledge series forward in partnership with Croy, who handles the design. Our focus is on covering important topics that often go unnoticed by users. And the main goal of the series is to provide clear and accessible education about privacy tools, explaining the technology behind them, and help users transition to privacy-focused solutions without barriers. The first article of the year focused on password managers, teaching users how to create strong passwords to enhance security. We also listed open source options such as 1Password, Bitwarden, KeePass, and others. Last month, we published our second article exploring secure messaging alternatives and explaining why apps like Signal, SimpleX, and Session offer better privacy than WhatsApp and Telegram. Don't trust Meta. Looking ahead, we plan to expand these efforts by covering more privacy-focused tools, forming partnerships with key projects such as NIN and SimpleX, with who we are in touch, and incorporating Zcash pictures into future articles to drive user adoption. You can check these articles on Free2Z, and all of them are available for, if you want to translate or do whatever you want. Thank you.
I also want to add that if anyone in the community has ideas that they want us to deep dive, we'd highly encourage that in our open source nature. Next up, we want to talk about our ZecHub Dashboard. If you go to ZecHub.wiki and you click on the dashboard on the top, this is one of my favorite features of the site, because it not only uses data that's freely available by running a node running this, supporting the network. This data is freely available, and this is a great tool for students or devs just getting into the ecosystem, because it shows what's possible with easily visualizing the data that, quite frankly, is hard to find, or you have to pay for it. So I think this is a huge advantage for the ecosystem. And there's a few different things that we include, and that includes shielded transactions, node count, network difficulty, and shielded transaction count. And if you notice the GIF that's playing, we now have a feature which was added by a ZecHub community member that lets you zoom in on intervals of time. And this works not only for the total shielded pool, but for the individual sprouts, sapling, and orchard pools. And they're all color coded. It's awesome. Highly recommend checking this out. And that's available on our ZecHub Wiki.
Yeah, and if there are any metrics that you'd like to see, let us know. We also added other things across the wiki. So there's now Prax Wallet Connect on our donate page. We have a Zec to Zat converter on the transactions page. And something very important, we now have a developer resources page. And so I think this was mentioned in Paku's all-time high in collaboration presentation recently. We're hoping to communicate a bit more with devs and find out which things, such as the Zcash dev tool, could we put in here and kind of explain for people at different difficulty levels. There's also a map for the pay with Flexer locations, store locations, and thanks to Minnie from Zcash Brazil, we have a brand page with graphical assets for all the community projects and Zcash wallets.
Another part of ZecHub is our YouTube channel, which is where we post different tutorials and shorts. And there is a lot of different options available. Some of these are rather advanced, but most of them are intermediate and beginners. And this is something that, again, requires input from the community on what you want to see. What are some tutorials that you would find useful? And we can help you make tutorials and communicate those to the world. For example, the newly released near intense swap service, which connects Zcash to the DeFi world, is a huge development. And Squirrel and I and Vito helped develop this tutorial, which I highly recommend you check out if you're interested in DeFi and how it connects to Zcash.
So the central part of ZecHub is its bounty program. We invite contributors from all across the world to learn about Zcash and earn Zec itself. And so we think having people actually receive Zec, make transactions is the best way to learn. And if they can provide graphical designs, documentation, or help with web development towards Zcash, that would be even better. And so this is the reason for the bounty program. Currently, we have 178 contributors, 92 forks of our GitHub repo. And I'd also like to make a special thank you to the Financial Privacy Foundation for helping us administer this bounty program. They make payments every week, sometimes 2 times a week. So thank you to Alex and Danica for the help. It's greatly helped us and made our whole process more efficient. From the past 6 months, 153 tasks have been completed, and 374 Zec has been distributed through tasks, so bounty tasks, and through DAO Proposals, and through My First Zcash.
Just want to add one quick thing, and that is anyone in the community can submit a task that they want to complete and fill out the info. It's not just us making these. Everyone is free to submit a task, and we will review it, and more than likely we can help get that squared away. So I just wanted to throw that out there.
So one of the things that we did last year was host a hackathon. And so we had 2 submissions. The winning submission was the Zebra racing game created by James Katz. And this allows you to connect your wallet by making a Zcash transaction with a special code. And we had a runner-up, which was really a proof of concept for a Zchat messenger created by QDev. And so having these kind of fun events where talented developers can create like proof of concepts or actual real games for Zcash is really good. And the things they made, completely open source, you can take from them and build on them if you like. So it's something that we're hoping to kind of improve on and do again.
So on community events over the past years, we have organized and hosted conversations with community members and the special guests on various topics. A great example is this slide showing case an EMA with Will Cox about the first crypto war and the creation of the Bitcoin. A discussion on Halo 2 with Town House on Zcash governance and a collaboration like ZecHub and DAO. We have also hosted major events such as the Zcash birthday celebration on October 28th last year, which brought like together 60 participants on a call. So looking ahead, one of our key goals is to bring in more projects and people to further enhance Zcash's visibility across media platforms. And we are constantly posting events updates on the Zcash forum X or Discord, ensuring that the community never miss out. If you're planning to create events like this or do something with us, please reach out me or Squirrel or Dismad. And we are planning something big for the privacy ecosystem soon.
I also want to just make sure everyone's aware that all of these spaces are available on our YouTube. There's a lot of good information, especially nuggets for governance and just small details that sometimes are overlooked. So there's a good history there, and these are freely available on YouTube, on our YouTube. So please check them out and like them. And probably one of the uniquest aspects of ZecHub is the ZecHub DAO, which is about 19 members from all around the world. Right now, we have 68 proposals that have been either approved or denied. And we also have one SubDAO that's been formally formed. And as we speak, there is a open proposition for a new research SubDAO. So we'll see how that goes. But to step back a little, there's a bit of history here. When we first started, we started with the ETH snapshot governance tool, which was ETH based, and we each had an ETH NFT, which allowed us to have membership. But we also wanted to explore other governance tools. So we moved to DAO, which is in the Cosmos ecosystem. And I can't say enough for DAO in terms of how easy it makes to run a DAO. In our case, we have a multi-sig. So we have 19 members. Each member has 1/19 of vote, and it's completely open source. And it allows us to do things like swap our treasury with proposal and approval on osmosis, where you click a button and the code is created for you. It's almost like a mini AI. It's awesome. But this is one of my favorite parts of moving forward with Zcash, because I think, especially with coin voting coming up, I think the ZecHub DAO might have a role to play, and I'm curious how the community feels. And I think we need to play with these tools more so that we can get comfortable, mess up a few times, because that's how you learn. You mess up, you learn. So this is a highly liquid area of ZecHub, and please contribute and ask questions, because this is awesome stuff. And there's a QR code here. Use your phone. You can go to vote.zechub.xyz to get a firsthand view of what we're talking about.
So the Global Ambassador Program was initially created in 2022 with the support from ZCG. Before its conclusion, I witnessed like many great initiatives focused on community engagements and protocol adoption. A few standout examples include Michael, who created the Zcash Brazil team in 2022, Yodsta, who built the Spanish-speaking community in the same year, Aidan, Teen, Chidi, and others. So for us, and from my perspective as well, these initiatives like provide the opportunity to revive the program sponsoring and supporting the work of investors. The Zcash Turkey is a great example of this. Batuhan has done a great job in media outreach, and the community has grown a lot over time. It's been very active. Almost 1 month ago, the Korea proposal was approved alongside the Turkish proposal to strengthen communication, share important updates, and continue growing the community. So at the moment, the Korea community is active across multi platforms with a strong and growing user base. We look forward to seeing more initiatives like this emerging and creating more opportunities to represent Zcash. So if you want to represent Zcash in your country or being an investor or something, you can submit your proposal, and the DAO will vote.
So one of the important global ambassador proposals we received was from CJ Frankie, and he was interested in hosting an event in Mapole Polytechnic in Nigeria, and the DAO approved it. And in fact, we worked with him for perhaps about a month and a half on finding out like what he'd be presenting, if he could use the My First Zcash workbook as part of his event. And it turned out great. It was a success. And CJ Frankie went on to join the Zcash Nigeria team. And so this is a good example of how, if you're really passionate and interested in supporting Zcash, you can make a proposal to the DAO and prove out your project to some degree, and then perhaps move further in the ecosystem. So thank you, CJ, Frankie. Keep it up. Another interesting possible global ambassador initiative is local Zcash. And so completely independently of ZecHub, we have a community member named Musty, and he formed this project, Local Zcash. And so it's a grassroots effort aimed at spreading awareness about Zcash and its privacy features. They're based in Nigeria, and they have they're currently recruiting several volunteers across the different regions in Nigeria. They've come up with some great ideas. They join the Global Lounge on Friday, which is open to everyone, and they give really useful input for us. And so one of the ideas that came up was the Zcash Adventure Contest. I don't know if you've perhaps recently seen a bunch of people holding up flyers with Zcash. That came from local Zcash. So a big thank you to Musty and Shamex, Crystal Boy, and Sydney. You guys are doing great work. Thank you.
Our community proposals are another aspect of ways that community members can participate. So for example, if someone may be familiar with Paywithz.cash, which is a really interesting site that lists merchants that accept ZEC. However, something happened with the previous owner, in real life happened, and they couldn't support the project anymore. But instead of letting this project just fall away into the abyss, we decided to help not only with saving the site as is, but encouraging other members of the community who may A, have the skills and B, the desire to become a new member of the community by helping reamp the site and mold it to how they see fit. So this is a possible avenue into moving into the ecosystem that is worth pointing out.
Yeah, ZecPages 2.0. So after Mike Arms announced the discontinuation of the ZecPages, we created our RFP for a community member to revamp and host the service, and Litbytes had the winning proposal. This proposal includes improvements, and the initial setup will be self-hosted to reduce costs and allow flexibility in architecture choice. A Warp Sync RPC server will be implemented for fast synchronization with future Zingo RPC integration for encryption features. And as we know, as a proof of concept, ZecPages, it has like server has available to for the ecosystem, provide a directory, wallet sync performance benchmarking, and a public verifiable view key for historic Zcash transactions. So this proposal also includes Blue Sky protocol support, FreeTZ support, and a lot of other technical supports. So estimated timeline, it's like 4 weeks. So in the end of March, I think we'll have it already.
One of the other proposals, which is currently ongoing, vote is pending, is the research SubDAO. So this is an idea which came from eTrinity 007, and we think it's a great idea for the Zcash community as a whole to have a dedicated group of people who can provide actionable data for perhaps the major orgs like ECC and CF. One of the I think the first project which they're hoping to work on is research into on and off ramps in various countries. So that's happening now. There is also the DYK series, which was proposed by Croy. So these are short educational facts about Zcash, and perhaps he can give us a bit more detail.
ZM everyone, I'm Croy. I'm a graduate architect and a graphics designer. I've been a ZecHub contributor for a little over a year. I'm a member of the design SubDAO, and I pioneered the series, the DYK series, and I run some in-house designs for ZecHub. Well, I found ZecHub via the bounty program via DWork. Yeah, I applied for a task, and just how a true DAO should operate is how ZecHub operated at the time, because I did not exactly know anybody on the inside. Then my previous works were like reviewed, and I got the task, and then gradually I did quite the number of design tasks, from developing isometric assets for ZecHub Wiki to making artworks for partnership banners or posters, as the case may be, to doing the visual identity for EduZec and doing the poster covers for zero knowledge. And now I I thought of the idea of the DYK series, did you know? Because one thing or everything I learned about Zcash, I learned through ZecHub. And as interesting as the idea of financial privacy is, not so many people know. I, for one, I did not know about Zcash prior ZecHub. And that is what birthed the DYK series, the thought of it, knowing that you could, find a way to make curiosity fun. Somebody needs to know more about ZecHub, but doesn't want to have to go through reading a whole long text about what might confuse him or not, or confuse her or not. And then that's what birthed the DYK series. And basically, it has been fun. It has been great. The very little time or great time I spent with ZecHub, and I just want to keep it going. Thank you.
We also have
Speedfox.
another contributor, Speedfox.
Yeah. Hello, world. So, I'm grateful to be one of the speakers for this conference. I am Speedfox in the community. I'm a Web2, Web3 developer with a strong background in computer science. I also work as a bounty hunter in the blockchain space. My journey into the world of cryptocurrency began some 10 years ago when I first encountered Zcash. Like many traders, I started out with the basics. I buy low, sell high, and aim to make some profit from the market fluctuations. At the time, that was the extent of my involvement, and I didn't dive much deeper into the technology. However, everything changed at towards the end of 2023 when I discovered ZecHub through the DWork platform. This discovery led me to becoming an active contributor via the bounty program that was initiated there by ZecHub. From the tax I applied for till date, I still remember the very first tax I applied for, which involved me setting up a Zcash node and trying to source some data using the RPC. I have been developing a little on EVM, Ethereum virtual machine. Not for once have I tried setting up an Ethereum node, but then I had a tax here on me, and that was how I went down the rabbit hole to learn what Zcash really was, how to get a node up and running. And eventually I did and submitted a tax, and lo and behold, I got, paid for my effort, which for me it was fun. I earned some ZEC along the way for my effort, Then it was right there that I transitioned from being just a simple trader of ZEC, becoming more engaged in participating in the Zcash ecosystem. As a contributor, I had the opportunity to expand my skills and knowledge in a number of different areas. I have had the privilege to provide some graphic designs, to develop some features for the ZecHub websites. I have curated some contents, articles, a little bit of tutorial that's under video creation. Through all these contributions, I have gained a deeper understanding of the Zcash blockchain. As a matter of fact, one of the key milestones was when I set up that Zcash node and learned to make that direct RPC call, which was interesting. It was the first time for me, and I got it right. One of the most enriching experience for me in all of this engagement with the Zcash global community, I had the privilege of attending one of those community calls meeting. I think it was via Discord also. We had discussions about transitioning to Zebra D was mentioned. This conversation piqued my interest in contributing even further. I became excited about the project and the prospect of submitting a pull request one day, just like the way I've submitted many to the ZecHub GitHub repo. I'm looking forward to the day I could also submit one too for the Zcash, for the Zebra D repo itself, and hopefully to be meshed. That's the goal I'm working towards. Wrapping up, I must say I'm really grateful to the community. And I want to use this particular moment to say that sometimes when good deeds are being done in secret, it's good we come out in the open to appreciate and applaud a good deed. I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to Squirrel, who played a key role in making the Zcash community feel like a home for me. I want to also appreciate efforts of every other members of the group whom I've been able to connect with, like-minded individuals whom sometimes have reached out to me and I've also reached out to them, whose shoulders we are able to rest upon when we have some task given to us behind the scene and we had some challenges, but then we would always reach out to each other to learn, how do you think I can get this resolved? And eventually we'll be able to share such knowledge, and individual person was able to get that resolved. I appreciate the community for that. I honestly look forward to continuing this contribution of mine and growing alongside this amazing community. And that's that for me now. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity once more.
Thank you, Speedfox. So how can all of you listeners, watchers, support our work? If you're interested in contributing to Zcash, please head over to our DYK.zechub.org. If you'd like to create your own project, if you'd like to perhaps become a global ambassador, or create research or anything, you can go to vote.zechub.xyz and you can create your DAO proposal. If you'd like help with that, just reach out to any of the core team in Discord and we'll help you make that proposal. And lastly here, please subscribe to the shielded newsletter. Head to zechub.wiki/newsletter.
Just want to add, a common question that I get is, how do you become a ZecHub DAO member? And the answer is anyone is open to apply. It's completely open. And the only thing you would have to do is convince the 19 members of the DAO to vote in majority to approve your application. And all you would need is just a Juno address, which you can get by downloading a Kepler wallet, for example. Just wanted to throw that out there. And the last thing that I think kind of encompasses ZecHub is our store. And it's unique in many ways, but my two favorites are we accept shielded Zcash, which is awesome. And this is brought to you by another community member, Renee. Shout out to Renee. Go check out zego.cash. And this is the software that we're using to accept shielded Zcash. And the second thing that I'm really excited about is the designs that you're looking at were submitted by community members. And I just think that's an awesome way to earn shielded Zec. There's a lot of artists in the world that sometimes don't get appreciated. And this is a fantastic way to do it in a peer-to-peer manner. So if you want to check out and support us, all the shielded Zec goes into our donations address. Hit the red QR code with your phone and check it out.
Oh, just to add as well, we've helped create another store based in Latin America. It's called the Zebra Store. So you can head to zebrastore.co if you're in LATAM. And currently there's one design. We're hoping for more designs so that we can help get cool merch to you there as well. So what's next for ZecHub? Well, we detailed this in our roadmap call at the beginning of the year, but the main goal for us is to become an education hub for the shielded ecosystem. And so that involves working with Namada, who is expected to have a NAM airdrop to shielded Zec holders sometime in the future, and also Penumbra, who also uses Zcash sapling and is a very aligned project. And yeah, we think joining the two communities or the three communities together will empower all of us. I think each of these has unique advantages for users. Zcash, real world payments, it's the best thing that you could use. Namada has its shielded set rewards, so you can hold whichever asset shielded and receive some kind of yield on it. And Penumbra has a private DEX. So each of these have their benefits, and empowering users with the knowledge of which to use when is a good thing. And so we're super excited to announce, following a DAO proposal created by Decentralist Dan, we have been approved for a grant, a micro grant from Penumbra. And so we're planning to host a bounty program via DWork in the same way that we do with Zcash for Penumbra. And whilst we're doing that, we're going to be holding events between Zcash and these other shielded ecosystem projects, doing podcasts and interviews with their builders, and maybe at some point creating an app of some kind using the Penumbra SDK. And so things that we can look forward to over the coming months: an Avalanche Redbridge animated explainer video, a reboot of the ZecHub podcast, holding another hackathon this year, an X Space, which we've organized with Simple X Messenger, more community events, and we'll be partnering up with the NIM Squad League. So, are there any questions?
Looks like we got one question here. Where should a crypto beginner start on ZecHub?
I think the best place to start is on ZecHub.wiki front page. If you go to the front page, there will be, you scroll down, and so it will say Explore Zcash. You could click there and select the category that you'd like to learn about, or you could scroll a bit further down and it will give you the option for start here, pick a wallet, or something else. So I'd click on start here. It will take you straight over to learn about Zcash exchanges, Zcash wallets, and what Zcash is. So front page.
All right, next question. Due to the importance of the content you share, do you think ZecHub needs to have content translated into Spanish as well as a social network also in that language?
Very good question. So when ZecHub first started, what we did was the vast majority of our bounties were towards translation of our docs. So that does exist. I think we have the whole wiki in Spanish and a bunch of different languages in our GitHub repo. These just aren't made available on the website. But with AI now, you could go to ZecHub.wiki if you're using Brave browser, and you could select the language that you'd like to view the site in. So on that side, I think we're good. But for Spanish content on social networks, that would be something I'd like to see.
I'll also throw in that I've mentioned this already, but I'll mention it again. All of our content is freely available on GitHub, and our ZecHub Wiki is forkable. So if there is a way you want to present information in a specific language or a specific way, we highly encourage you to fork and create. That's precisely why we have, and I believe in open source. You don't have to ask permission, you just do it. All right, next question. Oh, did you have anything else, Squirrel?
No.
Okay, since this is an educational tool and in my position as a graphic designer, can we form, or can anyone from the community create workshops for other communities about design?
Okay, I can take this one. Sure. We have the design SubDAO, and anyone can ask a mod or or administrator to create events on Discord server and help you to manage it. Just send a DM or go to the room ZecHub and then ask for it, and it can help you with it.
I'll also throw in that on DAO, in case you weren't aware, anyone is free to create a DAO at any time for any reason, as long as you have a Juno address. So feel free to explore, create a DAO, and if you want to request to become a ZecHub SubDAO, that is definitely possible with the framework that DAO provides. So that's another option.
So there's another question here. Do you plan to make any improvements to the payments for tasks assigned to ZecHub? Related question. Is there any possibility that the rewards for the tasks in DWork are higher? Well, yes. Improvements to the payments. Okay, so let us know what if there is an issue with the payments for tasks. Sort of the payment schedule. Currently, we make payments once per week on Mondays. And regarding the sort of pricing for tasks, we receive ZEC from CCG, or from CCG essentially. And we have a limited amount of ZEC. And so when we're planning for the year, we need to kind of take that into account. If you have a specific task that you'd like to do, you can always make a DWork suggestion. So you can create your task. If whatever you'd like to do, you can you could create a full brief. So list all the points that you're hoping to achieve as part of your task. And you can also include the bounty that you'd like to receive as part of your task. And so when you make the suggestion, it gets reviewed. And if it's good, then it happens. Are there plans to simplify the website? For example, 9 menu items seems excessive. It could be reduced to one section for users, developers, organizations, and the dashboard. Yeah, I think simple is always best. So yeah, I think so. We did add a sitemap. We didn't include that as part of the presentation, but we do now have a sitemap. And so I think we could simplify the front page and make the sitemap more accessible too. Good idea. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, the shout out here is we're making this for the community. So if you have ideas, please share them. It's only going to make it better for everyone. That's the idea.
Cool. Just a final note. If anyone is holding an event, please go to lu.ma/Zcash. We're hoping that's going to be the event calendar for the entire Zcash ecosystem. But thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, everybody.